How we doing YouTube? It's your friendly gamer, SmartEntity here. Today we're going to have a very in-depth look at the new Warframe Mirage, and as a side note, we'll have a quick look at the new sidearm Exani, and we'll have a quick look at the new melee weapon Sylvan Aegis. So to demonstrate Mirage, I'll basically do this LSV mission twice. First time without any powers, and the second time I'll run it again, but we're using her powers.
There is the assassination target. You know what to do.
Be careful. You must make sure.
Okay, so now let's do the same run with Eclipse and Hall of Mirrors on.
And now.
Now, I don't know how obvious that was, but the point basically was to prove how much of a damage booster that Hall of Mirrors and Eclipse provide to Mirage's weapons. Basically, Hall of Mirrors at max give you 4 extra clones, and then each of those clones does a small percentage of the damage that your main Warframe does, and that damage is magnified by Intensify. Eclipse has 2 different actions. In Light, it boosts damage. In Dark, it boosts defense or armor. I was in the Light when fighting LSV, and then obviously I was doing a lot more damage, and that again is boosted by Intensify. So Intensify boosts Hall of Mirrors and boosts Eclipse, and Eclipse boosts Hall of Mirrors. Okay, so when Mirage first came out, I thought Mirage was just another trickster, but this frame is anything but a trickster. Now you may have noticed I have 31 mod points remaining on this particular build. I did this on purpose. Basically, I have had quite a few demands from viewers saying, what if I don't have a reactor? Can you provide a build for that? So this will be a decent build for people that don't have reactors. And this is the build that I use to run both of those LSV missions. Now, if you do have a reactor without putting any formers, I definitely recommend using this much more advanced build. And by the way, if you don't have a reactor, it will be much better to go with something like a level 6 redirection than a base redirection and a base vitality. So assuming you do have a reactor, this is a build to go. Now, I just want to put one more bit of emphasis on Hall of Mirrors and Eclipse. So, with a full Eclipse, you're looking at about a 300 damage boost. And you gotta add the 30% power strength from Intensify, and from a full Hall of Mirrors, you're basically getting 4 holograms and a 30% damage boost, and you gotta add Intensify on top of that as well, and then you have to add Hall of Mirrors and Eclipse together. Now, I'm not gonna bother with the math, but saying this is an exponential increase is pretty much justified. Now again, I'm not too sure how obvious it was in those 2 LSV runs to prove how powerful these powers combined are, but I've done a lot of T4 survivals, around the 60-minute mark also, and Mirage can definitely hold its own as far as damage output goes. Now guys, don't get me wrong, I'm not recommending this frame as a long T4 survival frame, just because when you do get to a very long state, such as 80-minute plus, having the ability to hold your own is not enough. You do need to contribute beyond just holding your own. But having said that, anything below 60-minute, anything below 30-wave defense, all solar map missions, Mirage is perfect for it. Now, as far as the build goes, Hall of Mirrors, Eclipse, those are pretty self-explanatory. I've gone to plenty of detail about it. Intensify, fully justified. Now, Streamline for that energy efficiency. Narrow-minded for that extreme duration. Now, Prism is a interesting one. Prism has 2 phases. The first phase is basically it shoots a disco ball. Disco ball shoots out lasers. Laser damage enemies. Minor damage, but damage. And then the second phase is once the disco ball blows out, it has a blinding effect, not unlike Excalibur's Radial Blind. Now, the problem with Prism is it takes way too long to cast. I've tried to put a max natural talent on. Yes, it does decrease the time, but not enough. So I'll show that in the next couple clips. So this is going to be with natural talent, maxed. And this is going to be without natural talent. Yeah, so as you saw there, basically even with a max natural talent, the time is decreased, but it's still far too long for it to be useful. And now if you compare that to something like, Nexus Chaos or Excalibur's Radio Blind, those are good crowd control abilities for sort of your long T4 survival, so 80-minute plus. Now trying to use Prism to blind enemies at 80-minute plus T4 survival, even with max natural talent, you're playing on suicide at best. But having said that, this may have a better application in unique situations. That's why I am still putting this on. I could definitely imagine, trying to escape to extraction at a long T4 survival, and then using this, behind a door and then detonating, for that sort of last few seconds definitely can help, but not something you want to spam just because of the long casting duration. Now, as far as quick thinking, rage, and vitality goes, this is the sort of survivability mod combination I recommend for all high-level gameplay, and especially for something like Mirage with very low base health and very low base shield. A vitality and redirection is just not going to get you anywhere. So with 80 health and 80 shield capacity, that is really on the lower side. And don't forget guys, as far as vitality and redirection works, the percentage increase is based on this base number 80, not on the max number at rank 3240. So you're getting 440% off 80. Now for completion's sake, I will mention Mirage's second power, Sleight of Hand quickly. Basically it's supposed to activate an object nearby, and that object is supposed to explode basically. But as you can see, it's not working very well at all. Now given the fact that you do have to cast and you have to spend energy on it, and the almost no damage that it does, just isn't worth having this ability at baseline. So all in all, in summary, Mirage is definitely not just a trickster. She definitely has massive damage potential, especially in a squad. If there's a molecular prime, if there's a roar, Mirage will probably be, the one doing the highest DPS damage. But because of her low sort of shield, low health, low survivability, you really can't take her to sort of your 60-minute plus or your sort of wave 30 plus survival defense respectively. But for low level gameplay, this is definitely the frame to go. Now I've been playing with Energy Siphon for leveling her, but for high level gameplay, as always, put in your corrosive projection for any tower or Guardian missions. Now I will be releasing a specialized build for her after I put in a couple formers. I've worked out the build already. It will take me 2 formers, so hopefully that'll be out to you guys in the next couple days. Okay, so now as far as Prism goes, the power does depend on power range. Now I do have a max narrow-minded in the build I'm recommending. Now interestingly, it says 20 meters here for the laser phase. From experience, the laser phase seems to have almost infinite range. Max narrow-minded really isn't affecting it that much. As far as the second phase, the blind phase goes, I'm really not too sure how much a max narrow-minded is affecting that power, just because you can't actually see the power range. But having said that, I wouldn't worry too much about it, just because, like I was saying before, this power isn't really that good as far as damaging, and it's definitely not as good as something like Radio Blind or Chaos as far as crowd control goes, just because of that casting duration. So definitely use your max narrow-minded to optimize that Eclipse as well as that Hall of Mirrors. Alright guys, I don't think I'll have time to talk about the Axani or the Sylvan Aegis in this video. I'll do it in the next couple videos. So we'll end it here. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the specialized Mirage build that I'll be releasing in the next couple of days. Cheers.